Ethiopian Airlines sent me an email. Dear Nigel, enjoy extra space and comfort. Travel with no one beside you. Did you know that you can own the whole row on your next flight starting as low as $27? Then I was like, yo, what's happening here? How can I be able to own the whole row on my next flight starting from as low as $27 when, in fact, I've paid more than $500 for this flight to where I was going? I'm like, yo, what's really happening? Then I said, no, let me go to the bottom of this. So when I went to look into these matters, I then realized that it's not just Ethiopian Airlines. There are so many airlines running this program, of selling you some empty seats. Then I said, okay, is it beneficial to the airline? Is it beneficial to me? Why are they doing this? So I had some questions that needed some answer. So now you might think you might know what it is. Apparently, it's not as simple as you think, because there are a lot of options, rules, laws about this package. And there are certain things that you get and there are certain things that you won't get. So I'm going to dive into what you get, what you don't get, why airlines do this, and is it worth it for you? Then the first thing is going to be, what is it that they are really selling here? So what is a neighbor-free seat? This is what they call it. Most airlines, they call it a neighbor-free seat. But I came across Qatar Airways. Qatar Airways, they use another name, which is economy reserve. Anyways, let's just get to the bottom of it, right? A neighbor-free seat is an airline product that allows you to buy or bid on an empty seat directly next to you. That's the neighbor-free seat. So I'm going to now dive into how does it work. So I'm going to be looking obviously on my notes because I can't know everything, guys, and I have to keep this structured. So how does it work? There are two ways you can actually buy this seat. You can use the auction side or you can use a flat fee. But now, this is not your call to make, it's an airline's call to make. Different airlines have different ways of buying this, with other airlines opting for the bidding system and other airlines settling for the flat fee system. So Ethiopian Airlines uses a flat fee system, Emirates uses a flat fee system, and Virgin Airlines uses a bidding system, whereby you actually have to bid for this seat, and you are not guaranteed that you get it. Remember, if you lose the seat whilst bidding, they will refund your money. Then the flat fee system is different. You just pay instantly, you get that extra seat logged in for you, specifically for you. But now, is it that simple? Is it that simple? Now, this neighbor-free seat, yes, different fine prints, you are backing it. So don't ever think it's going to be just a smooth ride or a jackpot. But anyways, I'll get into what you get and what you don't get on this neighbor-free seat later in this video. But now, let's just go into how you bid, how you buy these seats. So there's online system, then there's the check-in counter system. So online, depending on the airline again, you might realize that you have to bid. When you're bidding, you have to pay online so that you secure. Then the flat fee system, some will say, okay, let's just pay online, right? Then for Emirates specifically, you're going to realize that they will say these empty seats are only available on the check-in counters. So they are not always available. They are only available on the check-in counters when they are now sure that no one else is ever going to buy these empty seats. So they don't really sell this. But why is it that certain airlines want to sell these seats way before the check-in time? I'll get into it again when I'm giving you the reasons why airlines actually sell this, right? So what comes with it? Apparently, it's only empty space. You might be thinking there are so many advantages of this. No, you only get empty space, right? Yeah, maybe empty elbow space, your armrest, right? Maybe that's what else you get. Maybe a personal couch. So if you then get to book the whole row, right, then you might get a personal couch, meaning you can sleep on that wall because it's yours, right? But then this is only applicable if those armrests can be raised, right? Otherwise, if they are the ones that are always logged in, bruh, you are not going to be using that as a couch. And it's actually a disadvantage. For some reason, I think Air New Zealand doesn't. They actually mentioned that their armrest, they can't be raised. So you have to be very careful. Before you book, you have to know what you're getting yourself. Then you have obviously guaranteed privacy. Okay, guaranteed privacy in the fact that no one is going to sit next to you. Anyways, then you also get under-seat storage. That's the only other thing that you get on this seat. Under-seat storage. You can just put things on under your seats. Which things do you usually have that you might need to put under your seats? I don't know. Because whenever I travel, I've realized that you only have maybe your hand luggage, then your cabin luggage, maybe those two pieces. So what usually do you need so that you book a whole row for you to put things under those? Yeah, you see. So you then realize that there are not so many things that you can do with these empty seats. But if you are taking a long, overnight journey and you want somewhere to sleep in the economy section, I think this might be a good deal. I will get into some more mathematics about it later on in this video. So what you don't get extra baggage allowance. Meaning, if you book this empty seat, because when you're traveling, they'll give you, maybe some airlines will give you 2 checked in luggage, maybe times 23 kg each or 20 kgs, right? Then you get 1 cabin luggage, then you get 1 hand luggage. So usually you can go with 4 bags, right? But if you book this empty seat, it doesn't mean that you will get to come with more bags. No, they're not doing that, right? Then you don't get extra miles. So there are those loyalty programs with airlines. So you're never going to get extra miles because you booked an empty seat. It's not coming, right? No extra food. That's what I love. I'm like, you guys, keep your thing. I'm not going to buy. No extra food. So why am I even paying for this empty seat? I told you, you are just going to get empty space, right? It's not permanent, right? An airline can actually sell your empty seat. Then they give you your refund. Then they take money. So just know that anything can happen, right? No priority packs. You don't get any priority packs because you booked these empty seats. No extra amenities. Let's say the airline is supposed to give you headphones, maybe some blankets and some pillows. You don't get extra because you booked an extra row. So why are you paying for this? Anyways, let's get now into why do airlines do this. So airlines do this for obviously profit reasons, right? For obviously profit reasons. So the first one is they need to monetize their spoiled inventory. So what is their spoiled inventory? Remember that this airline is either way going to get airborne and take off to the next destination, whether you have booked this empty seat or you haven't booked it. So because they know that they are either way going to go with these empty seats, they are trying to make a buck out of these empty seats. And this one is going to be a pure financial point. Remember, it's an advantage to them, right? So it's pure financial. Why? Because they will save on fuel. Less people, they don't need more fuel, because they are not carrying a lot of weight, right? Remember the conditions. You don't need baggage, you don't get extra baggage, you don't get extra food, what, right? Anyways, they save on catering cost, right? Meaning they are not going to give you extra food, so there is no catering cost here, right? No airport fees. So what happens? These guys pay different taxes, government taxes for the passengers that they have. They pay like some airport handling fees, again for the passengers that they would have. And so if they don't have a passenger, they're not going to pay that. But remember now, every bag that they made on this empty seat is coming directly to them. So it's more of 100% profit coming just to them. And why do they love this, right? It's a way of upselling to their economy, or what they call, it's a way of upselling to their budget-conscious economy travelers. So they know that there are so many economy travelers that want extra comfort, but because they are budget conscious, they don't want to pay this extra comfort to get into business class. So what do? They will sell you these small things so that you just have to pay more money, so that, yeah, you know, some of us, you might be comfortable spending extra $30, extra $27, and you might feel like it's nothing, but you are not going to spend extra $500 to get into a business class, or spend the extra $1,000 to get into a business class. So that's what they are offering to their budget conscious economy travelers, right? Then there's also zero financial risk, right? They can refund your money if the need arises. So let's say someone comes, they want a seat, they sell the seat, they take the $27, they pay you back, then they're left with some profit, right? Then boosting customer loyalty. The people who usually buy these seats, right, they, according to the study that they've done, they've noticed that most of the people, they go out, they're happy and everything. Definitely, it's because the people, they are weird, you know. Who doesn't want to sit to someone next to them? I don't know. Maybe weird people, weirdos. I'm not weird. I would rather be sitting next to someone. Though, yeah, I don't mind, unless if they've I don't know. But I usually don't mind sitting next to other people. But for other people, I think they are happy if they can get a free space, then they are not sitting next to anyone. And these are some of the customers that will come back because they're like, okay, I was sitting next to someone, so I will book with these guys again next time. So yeah, customer loyalty is boosted. Now the major question, is it worth it? Now, depending with where you are going, who you are, and what are your needs, this thing can actually be worth it. But in some cases, it might not be worth it. So when is it worth it? So let's say you are flying a long haul flight. So let's say we're from Zimbabwe all the way to China. Maybe there's a direct flight, though there's no direct flight, right? Maybe it's an 8-hour plus flight. I know there are 17 plus hours for certain flight routes. Maybe from Dubai to New York, you get this massive flight time, right? You realize that in economy, this might be an advantage, right? If those empty seats are not booked, and you can raise those armrests. Now you can sleep on this seat instead of just be sitting all the 17 hours. You get it? So there's an advantage. And if you calculate the cost per mile, yeah, it's going to be really nothing. It's actually a bargain for you. Anyways, again, you have to take note of the airlines that have the armrest that can be raised, right? Now, if you are traveling with an infant, let's say the one that you have to be holding onto your lap, because in some cases you don't have space to put them. Now, this can be an advantage. Why? Because if you book these next empty seats, you can actually use this empty seat to change diapers, to let the infant sleep, or let the infant stretch. You can put there some toys that you might need to just pick here and there, instead of you just disturbing people who will be sitting next to you. You know, the complications that come with this. So for those people, it's an advantage. Then if you are a plus size, or if you are tall, you then realize that if you are tall, you can't fit comfortably, you know, if on one seat, but you can just, you know, sit on one seat, then you can just cross diagonally. And if you're a plus size, you know, you can raise some of these armrests, then you can just sit, you know, comfortably without disturbing people and feeling awkward. So that's when, in most cases, these things are going to be worth it. But I don't know what you think, and I don't know what you know. Let me know what you think in the comment section, if this thing is actually worth it for you, and would you book this one? With that being said, guys, cheers, I'm out.